Hello everyone, how good of you to join, and welcome back to our little paradise to El Presidente's Tropico once more, sleeping with a volcano. And we are continuing onwards right away with the industry. So in the last episode we finished a very major industry factor, and that is our weapons. And as we can see, we already got the first weapons in the export storage now, together with, well, cigars, look at that, and boats. And holy cow, do we have some nice products here for sale now, isn't that right? So boats, cigars, weapons. I think this is a very good foundation for the World War era for our economy. To make sure that we get even more profit out of that, we definitely also want to look at trade contracts here. So the boats is being finished soon, and I would then like to check up if we have any new things here. Unfortunately, for the moment, what I can see, steel would be possible here. Rum, alright, we're not exporting that much rum, are we? A bit. And yeah, let's also purchase a new trade contract for 10,000. We can do this and get us the rum in. We can go with a bit of a higher volume now. 20% above price is just really nice. So let's go with the highest volume we can go with here. And then I'm waiting for some weapons and boat contracts and cigars, of course, as well, that we can still add to this area here. Now, looking at another area of my city is this area where we have the Presidente's Palace. And I would like to start, changing a few things around to make it a bit more appealing. Before we do this, let's just wait for this trade here. That's 1,200 weapons and cigars and boats being exported now. So only the best valuable items that we have. And how much do we get out of this? We finish a trade contract. That's the gold one here for sure. And 47,000. Perfect. And we have another trade license available that I would then like to use for one of our new ones. There we have it. Weapons. 20% increase. Let's go ahead. A high volume I would like. And this is now what we're starting to export to the Allies. The Axis probably will not like that so much. By change, I mean we are going to relocate a few buildings here. I want to make some, a bit of a better palace area. So we can actually move the embassies, of course. And I would like to start with that, moving them over here. And I would also like to move the library a bit further away. And with that, we have this area available that, at least for now, I would like to use then for the palace. Lucky us, we can now finally also replace the palace, right? Or not replace it, but relocate it. Something that I like a bit more, because, yeah, it just makes more sense as well. You couldn't do this earlier. And with that, we have this area available that is then my embassy district, right? So we're going to have our embassies piled up. For now, it's only 2, but it's going to be more than that, right? So at some point, we are going to look at 4 embassies. And let's just make a decent road connection all the way up here then. And also behind the palace with probably another little park area then as well. Something like that. There you go. And unfortunately, yeah, we really should adhere to the grid rules because, you know, curved roads in Tropico, first of all, don't really look that nice, and they are just horrible for placing anything. Now, this opens up a lot of space. We also have these country houses here. Some of them I can delete, some of them are empty. If not all of them, it is not, but they can move away. This one actually has still some people in. So let's move this country house a bit further outside. And then we have this one here. There's also still some people living in it, right? And look at the space. Beautiful. That we can use for some new things. Things that are actually good for my people. And let's just have a look at the happiness indicator here. Faith is the lowest, together with the housing. Fun is actually a bit higher again, since we have the circus now working for us. That is very well visited, right, by all of my Tropicans. But faith and housing. Housing is easy. We just need to see if we have vacant homes enough. Homeless people, some well-off we have. We probably will need to build another well-off house. Something like this one here. People like that a lot. And beside that, I can just raise the budget and increase also the work mode. So housing, bunkhouses. This is where most of my people live in right now. Already showing some cracks. And we can increase the budget again for all of them, at least to the 2nd level there. Not too high, because I don't want to explode my economy too much. And the flop houses, let's also have it at level 2 right now. Some of them were in level 1 and now level 2. Again, so in this case here, increasing the housing a bit. And the other one is, of course, faith. And for that, we do need a new building. And I'm not going with the chapel anymore. I mean, we can still place a chapel somewhere, but primarily I would like to go with the church building now. And that's a pretty nice one. And yeah, that's something we probably can have somewhere here then in the city center. a bit closer perhaps to the palace looking that, but still close enough for most people to get to it, right? It's a very representative building actually, and I would like to have it a bit central, but not... I mean, yeah, let's have it here for the moment. Central enough so that most people can actually get to this place here. This chapel is full, so I would like to get another chapel. Really just something small for where other people are living, like somewhere over here beside that ranch there, right? This would be important then. Then we got lots of people living here, but that should be fine. Boats has been finished. There was a nice export there once more. Do we have a new boat trade route? Unfortunately not. Also no cigars. I'm just going to leave it empty for now. Healthcare could also be better, so let's build us another clinic. Now, I'm not saying that I want to win an election, right? We're probably not going to have elections, as I think we're going with no election this time around. But I still would like to yeah, not have the biggest riots on Earth, really. Let's have another clinic a bit further down here, so it has the area of more Tropicans a bit closer than together. Also, something I love is that once we were at 100 relationship again with my superpowers, we can ask for financial aid, and this gives me some whopping 40,000 in addition then again. Here we still have a bit of a cooldown for 3 months, shouldn't be a much problem. And we don't even lose relationship, as we have so many trade contracts with them open and finishing them all the time, that everything is fine really, and we can just get the free 20,000 from time to time. And also Heights has been finished. This was a very long contract, right? Fulfilled in 126 months, holy cow. And it gives me some nice repetition boost there on top of that. With that, we have 2 trade contracts available again. Yeah, and unfortunately, nothing really that we could do here. What I would like to do is, yeah, opening up another oil well. So we're already using this one here, exporting the oil. And I think over here, yep, very outside of the city, there is another one that we can use for some proper oil drilling. So let's go ahead and get me this one over there, not too far away I hope, and have this road connecting then down into this area. Another fun building we have is the restaurant. This one here is very cheap, and that's actually one of the fun buildings that can make you a nice amount of profit as well, and it increases the happiness of all my citizens. Also, it is more for the well-off and people like that, right? Let's have this one in the center here for the moment, because yeah, it's basically where we do have then most of the people covering this one. I don't want to build too many fun buildings for now though, because early on they cost 62,000. That was a nice export here, and this pushes us almost to 100,000 there again. Now, another thing we definitely will need to do is looking at those plantations over here. Of course, it's nice to have plantations a bit further away, and this looks like a nice location. But after carefully checking once again my fertility ratings, we're pretty bad over here. So tobacco is only medium. We also have the sugar, which is almost red to medium and orange. I don't know, did it degrade perhaps a bit of the mining? No idea. Oh, look at that. My weapon factory is on fire. That's catastrophic for my economy. Let's just push them out there. Come on, do something. Unfortunately, we cannot go for helicopters yet, but the firefighters are already on their way. This is really devastating if it continues like that. We are also not producing weapons as long as the fire, of course, exists. So in this case here, we definitely don't want to have a plantation area there anymore, right? It's not good. We have a plantation area over here already that works pretty well. And if I look a bit further down here into this area, we can see that tobacco is fantastic here. Cotton is fantastic here. Rubber, that's also pretty nice. And sugar, that's also okay. And I would like to continue with them now into this area. We have the multiculture already working for these guys, pushing them to 130%. That is already almost as high as we can go. There's a few more upgrades down the road, but for now that should settle it. Let's build us another road into that area here. What we need right away for these plantations though is then also of course some housing. So we got these bunk houses there. The plantation workers are getting a lot of wages, right? So they're actually well off. This is the great thing about Tropico, is that even farmers are rich here if the economy is booming, because we're paying them a lot of money. That means well off people, and that means also we need well off housing. And I would like to start with the apartments with that now. These are well off and better. And yeah, these buildings just look, they just look nice, I think, overall. So let's go ahead and build me some 2 apartments here, together with probably still some flop houses for the poor, because we still have some poor then also here. And I would like to have them then also here along the street. Here we probably just have a block then that we can finish, right? And this is now my plantation area where those people can then live. So we're starting with tobacco. That is just really important. So I would like to go with a high fertility. Sugar we have. Ooh, sugar is then only for up here. But I definitely do want to go with a bit more sugar. And with that, we have all the most important crops here combined in one area. All of them are within range of each other and all of them are in very high fertility ground. One more thing I would like to add then is, or probably two things, is the manure spreader. It's tight, but here we can actually get all of them. We just need to get 2 fields away from my coffee plantation here. And I would also like to have another ranch that we can work up here for some hides and milk, especially then also for some cheese making. Now that's of course going to be lots of workers over there and lots of transportation required. So we are also going to add another Teamster office to the area here, and we can just make this one here beside my mine. And probably also another flop house here then along this area there. And here. And to make this area a bit more beautiful for my flop houses, let's add some parks around the mine there especially. We're going to have an upgrade soon that will make the mines a bit more attractive. But for now I have to do it with some parks to not have it so miserable over here. Yeah, that's a lot of construction. We do have the highest position there already and also lots of workers there. It's going to take a while, though for the plantations we could actually make a quick build out of that. We have plenty of money and the sooner this whole thing here starts, the better for us. So let's just go ahead. And by the way, there's also a bit of space here beside that mine for another flop house we can add, plus a tiny park then. As we go then into this area there. Let's also increase the budget, lose load limits, increase another 6 job positions, and then quickly build those plantations there. I love how we can do this so quickly with just a bit of money. The ranch as well. And all of that being finished instantly. There you go. For the ranch, we have the cattle now in. The cattle gives me meat and hides, but I would like to go with something that gives me milk. So the goat would be possible. Sheep would be possible. That's also wool and milk. So let's keep it with that for the moment. Sheepies we have. As you can see, yeah, that's more jobs than that we have now. So vacant jobs is at 83, which is a lot. But since we have some cash, we can actually invite them over. And it doesn't even cost me that much. Let's also increase the budget for all of them and go with multiculture for all of these guys here. They're all immediately boosting each other to 150%, and that's without the manure spreader already. Great stuff indeed. On the other side of Tropico, I would like to get rid of then my 2 plantations there. We no longer need them, and hopefully those people switch over then. My weapon factory is still on fire. Please do something faster. Doesn't look very efficient. You have to risk your life to make this work here. Come on. He's better. He's actually on the compound. This guy here is rather staying safe. Alright, catastrophe. The meteor shower is coming in. We cannot shelter everyone. Limit the refugees. Accept refugees. Yes, we can. That's a great timing, actually. I mean, if it weren't for darn fires and explosions. Let's just hope not too many things are being hit by those meteors. Especially not my weapon production again, please. But refugees we should see a lot. 24. Of course, some of them were invited over, so the next one will then have a real wave. 5 fires we have right now. Firefighters. Put it out. Best mode we can do for now. Yeah, we only got 4. Can we afford another one? I'm not entirely sure. Let's ask for financial help. This should do the trick there. And let's build us another one. Unfortunately, we'll have to do it, because otherwise we're just burning down at this point. And let's have the fire station down here by the chapel then. Since we have the cash, I would also like to go for some government buildings. We can go ahead with the bank. This would be very expensive, but actually we can generate interest on my treasury. So the more money I have on my account, the more interest we can make. The price though is rather steep. Let's wait for this for another 100 of before we actually get to 100,000. I can do this. Very important though to me right now would be the customs office. This one increases the export prices in general. It does cost me quite a bit, of course, up front, but it's going to be very valuable to us down the road. And yeah, it's a very tiny building, so let's have it here in my government district, really close to the embassies. On the other side, perhaps somewhere over there. That's one building I would like to get. And another one is the immigration office. This is something we really need to go ahead with rather quickly, because with that we can control the flow of immigrants getting into Tropico, and we're going to get to the point soon where we will need to stop it, I think. Right now, it's not the case, of course, but soon we'll need to juggle this a bit more carefully. The more people we get, those gets a bit more difficult then. Vacant homes we have for the poor a lot, for the well-off not so much, and that leads to a pretty high well-off homelessness. Even though these apartments are working now, yep. They're already full. Alright. Going to need a few more apartments. Going to make them also here a bit further in the city center. Just see. I think this is a nice spot for some apartments we could squeeze in here. Let's change also the animal ranch here to pasture prohibition. So we do produce manure that we can stock, right? Because we do need a manure spreader that is working now. Perfect. And this one is then further increasing the efficiency of those plantations. 154, 144. That sounds pretty good to me already. And yeah, also, yeah, 32 people came in with the freighter. That's the refugees. And with that, we have them actually all filled in no time. Perfect. And with that, a new agricultural district is now fully working. Holy cow, we actually lost a building there. And there was a plantation. Any other buildings? Weapon is working again. Still missing the nickel. Up there another flop house was destroyed. Yeah, the cigar factory does not have tobacco in again. So tobacco we are producing now. And hopefully my teamsters are doing a good job at that. Getting those things then over. Do we have another nickel deposit close by? That would be perfect, because one I think will not do it. And oh yeah, pretty far outside here, but at least there is another nickel deposit that we can work on. And let's get us a bunkhouse close to the mine there as well, so those people can actually have their house right next to them. And let's increase the budget, decreases the risk of the building catching fire. Let's also go with this upgrade, that's pretty important. And with that many plantations, I probably will need another teamster office. We have 4 now. Few things we still need to repair. Do we have full upgrade on all of them? Nah, this one here still can have 6 more jobs. Let's increase the budget for all of them too, to transport even faster. Oh, that's a huge export list there. 40,000 there once more. Yeah, and now finally the cigar factory is swimming in tobacco. That's just how it's supposed to be. There's also this ranch here with the cattle, manure, meat and hides we produce here. I would probably also like to go for milk now for this one here. Change the resource to sheep, so we have wool and milk. Goat is only milk, wool, meat, milk. Yeah, milk, there it is. And it's not a very good area here anyway for it. Let's move this ranch here as well, and we probably can make a decent amount of it here then together with the other one. That's too far away. That's too close to the city, unfortunately. Here is possible. There you go. To have this one in here now too, in the middle of my agricultural district. And with that we have enough. Not enough money, unfortunately, because I would like to go ahead now with my creamery then. Produces cheese out of milk. That's another very cool and expensive product, really. 60,000 we got. Yeah, that's enough now. And now we can build the creamery. 15,000 up front. We have to pay for it, but that's okay. And yeah, let's go ahead and have it then here in my industry zone somewhere, just behind the tavern, or yeah, let's have it actually beside my cigar factory. We can just easily use it in this area. By the way, those people here with the high school, they're rich. The people that are making the cigars for Tropico are rich. So we actually also will need some housing for the rich. That is the official residence or the mansion. Let's actually build me some mansions then, right? And yeah, mansions unfortunately do need to have some surrounding that looks nice. So we could have them, for example, here along the beach area, for example, right? Somewhere here. There's nothing bad happening there, is there? Let's have two mansions here for the moment. A bit closer. It needs to be close to the workplaces though. We need to remodel that industry zone anyway at some point soon. Enough nickel now, very good. 2 nickel mines are now fully working. This one here is also fully working. How nice to see. A blight. All crop conditions are decreased by 40%. This is not good. A new and extraordinary resistant strain of mildew has swept across Tropico. 40% reduction for all my plantations for a while. This brings me down to 100 to 115% efficiency. And another very important one is the textile mill. With this we can produce cloth out of wool or cotton. Cotton we have quite a bit at this point. So another factory that we can place then somewhere here in my industry zone. Let's just go ahead and yeah, probably then also here beside the flop houses. And then we have a bit more space that we can then use for more factories as well. Lumber mill on fire. Enough planks for now. Sugar is another problem. We definitely do need another Teamster office. And let's get this one done somewhere here where we have housing, but also workplaces. This looks like as good a location as any. Let's quickly build it. And let's also give it, whoops, another flop house here. $40,000 and some 7 immigrants. That's okay. And there's the next trade already. This is going to be lots of boats and weapons. We still have our boat. No, the weapon we have active. Boats we don't have. Unfortunately, there's also no trade contract really for boats. We don't really have a lot of export trade contracts here available. Nothing that would actually be profitable to me. Cotton. We're actually having a lot of cloth we could go with as soon as this one is starting. But that's not the case at the moment. 50,000. And we're closing in on 500 people there. Still enough vacant jobs, still enough vacant homes, and no homelessness at the moment. 62 support rating, that's actually pretty great. People don't really need elections, it turns out, if you provide enough services. And there we have breached 100,000. That I would like to take for building the bank now. Another pretty big government building. And let's have it then here close to the central palace grounds. Now, it's also important to understand that these guys here are pretty well off and rich working in the government buildings. The same with the bank. So we probably also need to add some mansions here. So we could have some beauty area then here in the background, right? Behind the government district. I would like to go with at least 2 mansions with their special entrances, and probably also then some apartment here. And also another flop house here by the dungeons. And there it is, the bank in all its glory. Let's increase its budget right away. Nothing else we could do here. This is now generating interest based on my total amount of money, and for now this is turning out to be $300 in addition, right? So this is, I think, the first building really that just generates money out of its own without us having to do any exporting and stuff like that. Many more to come. 2 more mansions already filled. This one not. This one is filled. Mansions are also making money, by the way, right? So they are producing not that much, but still at least something. Let's ask a bit for financial aid there again. And what I can see now is, yep, cloth is in as well. Already 1,000 of it. So the textile mill is fully producing. It's full with cotton and wool, making cloth out of that. Let's increase its budget there right away. Let's add some, 2 more jobs there, because this is going to be a high volume trade. And let's just see if we can actually sell some cloth. Unfortunately, no. This is really unlucky. There's no other way to say this. This is super unlucky. We're only getting some basic materials there, but not processed goods. After these run out, we might have a problem there. But until then, of course, we get many more chances. So far, so good. The industry is booming. A few more relocations, and we continue onwards in the next episode. Stay tuned.